My name is Catherine Plunk. Today I will be giving you an informative speech on child labor. Some of you may have heard about child labor in the news, on the internet, or in the newspaper. Today I will give you an insight into the world of child labor. As someone who loves children, child labor concerns me. Child labor is a very common situation in many countries. To understand this issue better, I will inform you about what child labor consists of, the reasons behind it, and how it is being reduced in some developed countries. First, what does child labor consist of? Child labor is work that harms a child in any way. It exploits children. Many children do not get to attend or finish school. Children are paid less than minimum wage. Most are abused, including debt bondage, forced labor, and child trafficking. It is harmful to children's mental, physical, and emotional well-being. Most children work long, hard hours like any adult. They never get to have any sense of a normal childhood. Because of poor living conditions, many are susceptible to disease. Next, we will discuss some of the reasons behind child labor. Child labor is used for many different reasons. The information summarized in this point comes from the Child Labor Public Education Project from the University of Iowa Labor Center and the University of Human Rights Child Labor Research Initiative 2002 to 2004. An estimated 60% of child labor occurs in agriculture, fishing, hunting, and forestry. They harvest bananas, cotton, flowers, cocoa, just to name a few. Around 14 million are estimated in manufacturing goods. Some of these goods include items such as carpets, glass, clothing, and surgical instruments. Many young girls are involved in domestic services. Some of this type of work is legit, some is not. In tourist areas, some of the hotels and restaurants are also involved in child prostitution. Much of the pay is so low that they have to take loans out from their employers and are often led into debt bondage. In comparison, some countries are reducing child labor as they become more developed. Over time, actions have been taken to reduce child labor. Minimum wage and maximum hour standards were put in place in 1938 with the Fair Labor Standards Act. Because of this act, any child under 16 was not allowed to manufacture goods or mine. When the Fair Labor Standards Act was put in place, many jobs held by children were opened up for unemployed adults. The development of new machinery also contributed to the decline of child labor. Adults were more efficient in using the machinery. Many of the new jobs created also required higher education and skill level. According to the 2009 article Child Labor by the History.com staff, in 1949, Congress amended the child labor law to include businesses not covered in the 1938 Act, such as commercial agriculture, transportation, communications, and public utilities. Child labor has not been fully stopped, but forces have gradually reduced the use of child labor. Child labor has been a long-term common practice for many countries. Now you have been informed on what child labor is, how it is used, and how it has been reduced. There are many ways to get involved to help stop child labor. If you would like to get involved, please visit laborrights.org/child and forced labor.